What's the dumbest rule your school ever enforced? Lee HK1 replies with, can't be standing around in groups more than 4. Gang mentality. My gang of 4 found that policy very convenient. Reminds me of the time a teacher absolutely lost her mind because my friend said something like, come on, gang. She was convinced she caught a slip up and that she was about to expose some serious 8th grade gang activity. Our school had a rule against colored shoelaces because of gang affiliation. Bilba Perky posts, they outlawed bracelets because there was an article in a magazine somewhere saying they advertised what kind of lewd acts you were open for based on their color. Then someone tried to outlaw wristwatches for the same reason. I think I had a Casio calculator watch when I was in school. I wonder what kind of lewd act the teachers might have assumed I was up to. The school admin needs to stop reading Cosmo, BuzzFeed, etc. as if they are applicable to reality. We had that, but the teachers only found out about it because someone printed off a web page of this article and brought it into school. Heh, that was Oprah, making a panic to freak out housewives. Loser user 1201 posts this. Lock the only boys' bathroom because someone wrote on the wall in Sharpie. It wasn't even anything rude or inappropriate either. It was just the word hi or something like that. Didn't unlock the door until one boy wet himself and the parents threatened to sue. That kid really sacrificed himself for everyone else. The Train Man 1 posts this reply. They did that at my school, but because someone was crapping on the floor and smearing it everywhere. Something similar went down at my middle school, but we deserved it low-key. Our bathroom had 1-by-1-inch tiles covering the floor. We drew something naughty on each and every one, and the walls, and the stall doors. Being a middle school boy was an amazing experience. I bet. We have a construction store like across the street. If they locked the bathrooms, I would go there, and so probably would everyone. Mauser Smash 0815 replies with this post. Not really a rule, but the toilet paper holders are outside of the stalls on a wall. So you have to calculate before taking a crap about how much you need and hope that what you got is enough. Awful and impossible. Almost as bad. At my school, the stalls had no doors, said Mark Zajac. To prevent drug deals was the reason. Time Reader 17 replies with this. I feel like that would only increase toilet paper use. Taking a dump wasn't even an option at my school. People would pee all over the seats on purpose, pee on the toilet paper. I didn't drop a single deuce between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. until I was 19. Oh my God, our bathroom doors never had working locks, so you had to change a tampon or crap holding the door shut, or have a friend hold the door. No Spam Kanman replies with this post. The school banned all backpacks or bags on campus. Students were expected to somehow still carry everything they needed in hand. This was especially challenging if you had a non-ideal locker placement. Ours did too, said Terry Bowbarrel, because in college they won't let you carry your bags everywhere. Freaking liars, college professors don't give a crap. My high school did this too. a tripping threat in classrooms, apparently. Not sure if the rule still exists there, as this was like 10 years ago. Chewy Time replies with, ditto. Those hours was limited to no backpacks or bags in class. Like you could bring your bag to school to carry your stuff, but then you had to leave it in your locker. Depending on where your locker was though, that meant you'd sometimes have to carry all your textbooks in your arms, which was far from ideal. Wasn't there a kid whose school implemented this rule, so he started showing up with all his books in a microwave? What if a student was on crutches or had a broken arm or any other physical condition that would make carrying all of that in hand somewhere on the scale of ridiculous to impossible? I like the answer to that question. xwind03 replies with this interesting post. We suddenly one day were not allowed to stand in circles during recess because, and I quote, we could be dealing drugs. I will add that for the years prior we had been standing in circles, no problem. Next recess, we stood in a triangle. Cue principal going crazy. Next day, we stood in a square. The principal kept us inside for a week and threatened us all with detentions if we did it again. I believe their idea was open-ended circles so they could see what we were doing. Still stupid. Prof Throwaway 69 posts this reply. Most students who get a recess probably aren't dealing drugs. It's not a circle, it's a, quickly counts the 9 students standing there, nonagon. I am glad you protested at least a couple of times, said Bobby2393. Would have been fun to keep coming up with infinite variations. You never said we couldn't stand in the outline of a 2D projection of a dodecahedron with parabolic occlusion. You're standing in a circle. It's a triangle. There seems to be a flaw in my policy. Wow, in my middle school, we could stand in circles, but only with 5 or fewer people. If there were 6, suddenly we could get into a fight. They told us if we wanted a larger group, we would have to sit down on the ground. We ended up with like 5 small groups of 5 next to one another, and we would merge until we saw an adult and then underwent mitosis. This was a pretty funny thread. I particularly enjoyed that last one. I've not had the pleasure of having any ridiculous rule set in any of my schools, and I've been to a few. Too bad. I would have loved to share a silly school rule too. Do you guys have any? If you do, please comment down below. I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!